Hello, I wanted to make a video today because I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it later this week. And the reason I'm doing it is because it's been 1 year on Tuesday of since I started Bright Line Eating. Now, I will qualify this by saying that in one of Susan Pierce Thompson's recent videos, one of her recent vlogs that she does on Wednesdays, she talked about how if you never followed all the Bright Lines strictly, then you weren't really doing Bright Line eating and you didn't really know at all what it was about. So I will qualify my whole spiel by saying that I guess I never really did Bright Line eating because from day one I've always allowed myself to eat dark chocolate. And I could show you like some of the chocolate that I buy. I buy from Trader Joe's, I buy 85% dark chocolate lovers, and then I buy 100% Montezuma's chocolate. It's 100% chocolate, it has no sugar in it, so it would have fat and cocoa solids. And then sometimes from Aldi I'll buy 85% chocolate. So those are the types that I allow myself to treat myself with, and I will have like one square. So like usually, you can break off a piece of chocolate, and for some of them it's like, it's less than the serving size. So technically, have I done Bright Line eating for a year? I would say I pretty much have, because I've subscribed to most everything that the book and the program addresses, and I felt like I needed to, because as soon as I took the quiz, saw the results, and found out I was a 10, more than a year ago, I realized it was probably a good idea for me to try it. So here I am, almost a year later. I started on June 12th of last year, so today's the 10th when I'm recording this. And there's some things that I've changed. Yes, I did go kind of into maintenance probably by fall, like by October, November. I realized I wasn't losing weight anymore, and that could be due to, again, I think it was in the same vlog, which was about 3 weeks ago, the one, I don't remember the title of it, but the Susan Pierce Thompson vlog, and she addressed the whole, like 5 pounds, being like 5 pounds away from like the French ideal or the French standard of body weight, and that's about where I am. I'm like 5 pounds over that, and I'm very tall and I work out. I mean, I think you can, you can't see my muscles at all. That's discouraging. No, but I work out, I lift weights, and I have quite a bit of muscle mass. So sometimes I feel like I won't be maybe as light in weight as some other people, even who are as tall as I am. I'm almost 6 feet tall. So the whole being 5 pounds away from like the French model of body weight, I struggled with that towards the end of last summer, and I was like, well, I'm not losing weight anymore. I mean, is it me? Is it my thyroid? Because I have Hashimoto's, I have hypothyroidism, which I've had since I was 14. So I've been dealing with it for a long time, and I'm sure my thyroid is not, I'm sure it's not fully functional. I know it's not. But I've tried to make life choices to prevent it from getting any further damaged, because I think in particular eating gluten is bad for me, and so I've cut out all gluten for the past over a year now, and dairy. I'm down to only eating cheese very occasionally, and Greek yogurt, which I think is okay. I don't know, but anyway, that whole 5 pounds, let me adjust this, that whole 5 pounds, maybe even 10, I don't know if I could be that skinny, but yeah, I'm about 8 pounds more than I was at my skinniest weight when I was 26. Never had any children, didn't have any children by then, and my metabolism was probably cranking a little faster back then. And I was working out pretty religiously back then too, like 4 or 5 days a week. Now I will do 3 days a week of workouts, and the rest of the days I walk every day. I make sure I get 10,000 steps plus. So anyway, that whole, I would like to see them do a video, or see Susan address that issue. I mean, I guess she already did, that you just have to be more strict, but the issue I'm talking about is the 5 to 10 pounds, because I think so many people have set, like me, I set pretty high goals for myself, and it's not that I didn't reach my goal, but I found that it's a lot easier for me to live day to day just being like 2 or 3 pounds more than what my goal was. So, I mean, 2 pounds, is that going to kill me? Probably not. So, you know, it is what it is. But this brings me around to another issue that that kind of got me started on bright line eating, because if you notice, it was the beginning of summer last year when I started. Well, summer, what does that mean? We only have like 3 months of summer here. It's pretty short and very hot and humid. So it means you go to the pool, right? So you have to be in your bathing suit, or you go, you know, go to the lake or whatever you do on a boat. So I've never been one to really feel very comfortable in a swimsuit. Okay, maybe when I was 26 and I was at my lowest weight. But I've always had cellulite in my adult life on my legs. I've never had skinny legs. That's genetic, because my mother has pretty big legs and my father has athletic legs. They're not big or thin, they're just athletic. I mean, he was so it's a whole body issue, and the whole the whole body image issue, and what better way to bring that out of someone than swimsuit season, am I right? So swimsuits. The other thing that's troubled me for the past 5 to 10 years, I would say, especially though since I've lost weight, is the place where I lose weight first is always in my chest. So, a few years ago, before I met my husband, maybe 5 years ago, I was dating a guy who was very, I won't say shallow, but a little bit shallow. And it did do things for my confidence. He did make me feel good about myself, but there was an expectation that if we got married, stayed together, got married, that I would get plastic surgery, get a breast augmentation. And I was okay with that. So I went to 2 consultations during that time that we were dating. He didn't go with me. I went alone. And it was a pretty real thing that I might do in the future if, you know, money weren't an issue, because it's about $6,000 to do that here. I didn't need a lift. I just would get silicone implants, and not very big ones, because I didn't want to look big, because I think if you have big breasts and you're already a big person, then it just contributes to the whole big appearance. So I just wanted to get a little boost in that area. So that's something that's kind of one of the things that brought me to YouTube in the first place, is I started to research the surgery, and a lot of people have done video logs of their surgery journeys. Now most of them are young ladies, like 22, 24, which I understand, but I'm much older, so, and I've been on Real Self and all that. So that's another issue with bathing suits, that you can't really hide. It's really hard to hide your chest in a bathing suit, and I suppose larger, more well-endowed women feel that way too, but I mean, you could always get like a high neck suit, but for us who are in the itty-bitty committee, it's hard to fake people out without a shirt on, right? So, you know, like for me right now, this is not how big I really am. I have a bra, you know, a padded bra. I always wear a padded bra. It's like to balance out my proportions, because I have quite large hips. So I've been bathing suit shopping. This is the bathing suit I already own, and it worked for me. I've had it for about 4 years. It's by Lole, L-O-L-E, which I think is a Canadian brand. It's pretty cute. And then this is the top, which goes, it's a halter, and then it straps in the back, so it gives you pretty good support, not that I need a lot of support. And then it has the cups where you can, it has a little pad in there. I don't know if you can see that, but it has like a removable, a section where you can take the pad out or leave it in. So I love this suit. Of course I keep the pads in because I can use a little help. I mean, I nursed my son for 9 months, so it's partly due to that, but then also losing weight. It's just kind of a deflated situation. So yeah, like I never had the surgeries, in case I didn't mention that. I never had the surgery. I haven't had it done, and I don't know if I ever will. But when I went to look for a new suit, because I figured this one was probably wearing out a little bit, and it's giving, you know, giving in the stretch department, it's kind of loosening up in all the wrong places. I went to look for some bathing suits, and I discovered I had the same problem. Most of them have some like modesty padding, you know, like so you don't see your nipples. Most swimsuit tops do, but they don't have enough for me. So I started to think, okay, well, what am I going to do? Because I tried to find this same bathing suit, and they don't make it the same way anymore. So I'm going to have to buy something and modify it. So my husband has always been very loving and shown that he doesn't, I mean, he's expressed that he doesn't care that I'm, you know, not big-chested. And he has no, you know, he doesn't care if I would get a boob job or not. I mean, he said if it would make you feel better, you know, and if we had the money, like we're not going to go into debt for that. So if down the road we had the money and if it would make me feel that much better, then maybe it would happen. But he doesn't care. He's, I guess some men are just more into other things like butts or legs or I don't know. Anyway, but when I went swimsuit shopping in the store and he and my son were with me that day, they were just looking at other stuff while I was trying on swimsuits. At the end, when I had narrowed it down to 2, and I was like, I just wanted to get his opinion, because I was almost ready to buy one, even though it was going to be like $100 for a swimsuit, because they were nicer swimsuits. And I brought him into the dressing room with me with it on and showed him, and I was like, well, this is the only problem. It doesn't have that much padding in the top, so it just looks like what I am. It makes me look small-chested on top, and then I have pretty big hips because I'm a bigger girl. And he's like, yeah, I mean, he was agreeing with me, so he didn't you know, try to change my mind or say like, well, that doesn't matter, that's just the way you are and it doesn't matter. He kind of agreed with me, like, yeah, it does kind of make you look flat-chested. So I was like, well, if even he says that, and he's not even into big boobs that much or anything, yeah, I turned that $100 swimsuit down. So I did some researching and looked up whether you could add pads to a swimsuit. So here's a couple things that I found at Walmart. And this one is it's called a water push-up pads. There's 2 of them, obviously. And I mean, I guess if you had a mastectomy or hip surgery, you know, one would be good to have. But so they come in cup sizes. These were $5, maybe $5 and some change. And I think what I would do, if I get another swimsuit kind of similar to that, is sew these in. So if it doesn't have enough padding, I will just sew it in right here so it never comes out, you know, like there and there, and maybe 3 points. And it just helps a little bit to push the girls up where they need it. And then I found this one too. I bought this also. It's called Ultimate Peel and Stick Push-Up Pads. And so these, they still have the peel and stick on them. These are, you can cut them down to size. And of course, you could put them, and both of them say you can put them in bathing suits, bras, evening gowns, wedding gowns. So I just got another swimsuit by the same brand, Lole, L-O-L-E, and it's the Capiti D-cup top, and I get it in a medium. So that's what that looks like, and it has the same the straps you can cross, or you can have them like regular bra straps, like where they just go over your shoulder. And then here's the top, bottom, and this is a little bit big, so I don't know, we'll see what I'm going to do with that. But I already have my needle thread ready and my little pads, so I'm going to sew this into this top, because unlike the way they used to make it 5 years ago, this has no removable pad or even a removable area. It's just a lightly padded molded cup, probably because it's for D-cup women, but they didn't take into consideration that some of us are just broader chested and not large chested, and that some of us need a little push up. So it would have been nice if they'd made a removable cup in that, but I understand. So the whole reason I started Bright Line Eating was to feel more confident in a swimsuit. I know that sounds vain, and that I wasn't liking how things were going with my health, and I wasn't confident, just even around my husband without clothes on or anything. So I wanted to lose some of the excess weight that I started to gain, and I was able to do that. However, there are things that losing weight, I guess the lesson is that there are things that losing weight doesn't fix. And those are the things you have to deal with on a deeper level. So that's one of the things I've had to deal with. I'm now more comfortable in a bathing suit. I don't feel so self-conscious about my stomach or my waist not being, so small. I'm not ever going to be a petite person. I'm just more statuesque, I guess. So that's kind of what I've had to learn, and just come to agreement with my body and agree that I can do the best for my body. I can serve my body the best way by eating healthy, not eating too much, and not using junk food as like an emotional crutch or to make myself feel better. But the whole confidence issue, that has to come from within. So that's something that I've learned over the year of Bright Line Eating, and I'm so glad, still so glad that I found it and that I was able to do that. Bear in mind, I never did the boot camp. It was too much money for us. I just did the 14-day challenge, and I felt like it was enough. Yes, it would have been nice to be able to do the boot camp and learn a lot more, but $500 just wasn't something that we could spend on that. So that's kind of where my journey is today, that learning to treat my body right and make sure that vegetables are like the primary source of fuel for me, and followed by protein because I work out, and then fat, and then the carbohydrates are good to throw in there, of course, every day. I eat them every day still, but just learning to love my body the way God made it. So that's kind of where I'm at today, and where I feel like Bright Line Eating has brought me. But I want to check in with you guys and make sure you know that that Bright Line Eating is certainly such a blessing. It's not going to be a cure-all for you, like Susan says. There's deeper work usually that needs to be done. So over the course of time, I think it becomes just a habit to eat that way, and that's, like I said, that's a real blessing to just get in the habit of eating that many vegetables, and to look at the way other people eat and know that you're on such better course, with not eating fast food or completely just potato chips and white flour tortillas, and that's the filler stuff that's no good for you anyway. So I'm really thankful for this year, and so excited to see where the rest of 2018 is going to take me, and thank you for joining me on this journey.